Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Make Your Figure Cat. Apologies, voice has gone all scratchy. Don't know why that is. Probably just lack of use. It's quite early in the morning. I've not really spoken yet. So I'm joining in with Martin Mayhem's Sketch Mayhem again because I had that scrap of torn and textured paper on the desk, which is for a project that you will see in a few weeks' time. It was just left over and I wanted to use it because it was pretty. So I looked for a sketch that matched, and this is day 23. So I kept reasonably close to the idea, but it took me a little while to work out what I was going to do with it, other than the obviously the panel going across the middle of a piece that will be smaller than my card blank. Gosh, I really don't know what's going on with my voice. I ended up choosing these Smile More flowers from, these flowers from a Smile More set from Altenew. Altenew? Why did I go Altenew? Don't know. And first of all, I heat embossed them onto the leftover pink. I do end up changing the leaves, so the leaves go on to green in the end. It just doesn't look quite right with the pink leaves. Even though you could argue either way. It doesn't really matter. It's creative. There's no flowers that are exactly like this either. So, Anyway, I die cut them all out. I did choose the wrong dies for one of the leaves as well. So that immediately goes in the bin because that's totally wrong. And then I'm and ahhing and I decide, no, there's not enough contrast is probably more what I was thinking, rather than it doesn't look natural to have pink leaves. I just thought it needs a bit more contrast on the card rather than it just being all that bright pink. So I've grabbed this strip of, I think it's from the Spring Slimline collection from Kingston Crafts, which does have some solid colours in as well. And I've got this piece that's already been die cut into. So I grabbed that and white embossed again. And then die cut these out, and I'm much happier. And I've also got the right die for the leaf shape this time, so that I know I'm going to cut out the full leaf as opposed to just part of it. I obviously just wasn't concentrating. And then I'm happy with that straight away. No fiddling with the arrangement. That's what's going down. I'm following this as being the circle. This is the circle that's in the centre of the sketch. I think it's important to understand that sketches you don't have to follow exactly. They're just meant to be a jumping off place for your inspiration. And that's what this one did. So you'll see that I die cut a second of the flowers just to strengthen that die cut, because I'm going to raise it up. I have used the red adhesive tabs from Kingston Crafts, and I'm only adding a little bit of glue to them just because it just gives you that bit of wiggle room. And now I need to decide what am I doing for my sentiment, and I decide to say Sending Hugs, which is a lawn fawn set. I use this quite often really for nondescript cards, as in where they don't have to be a birthday card. They could be just a I'm sending you a hug card. So I do use these quite frequently. I think they're really cute, and the fact that you've got a coordinating die for the hugs word is really sweet. And there's 3 different ways that the hugs is sort of sized and font, and there's 3 dies to go with those. So I do really like this little step from Lawn Fawn. Had it for quite a while. So again, I am heat embossing, this time onto the green, and I'm going to die cut out the word hugs. I will go and die cut some additional versions of that hugs word, even though I've put the die away. I will do that. And then I'm going to cut the sending into just a little strip. This one I just keep as a single layer, and I'm going to add some foam tabs just underneath one side, and so it hangs off the edge of the circle shape, like in the sketch. I forgot my word then. But then I do decide to slightly differ. I decide that I'm not going to add any ribbon or a bow. Instead, I'm just going to have that hugs dangling off the edge instead, and that's going to represent the bow element. So I think I've kept reasonably well to the sketch. So yeah, this is me having die cut 3 more versions of the hugs, just so it's a really sturdy, chunky little sentiment. It just helps with the dimension, keeps it strong without having to add in extra foam tabs underneath something that would be more difficult to add foam tabs under. So this is pretty much the card finished, but I'm now deciding on the card blank, and I decide on white because I think it'll pick out all that white heat embossing. I just scored it, so it was a half of a piece of A4, and I've just scored it at 10.5. So when I say 10.5, I mean 10.5 centimetres. I always do my card blanks in centimetres for some reason. Everything else in my head, I do in inches. So there you go. There's my card. Nice and simple. Thanks for the sketch, Martin. Really helped with the inspiration, and it was fun to join in. And a nice simple card. It probably took me about 25 minutes to make because that the embossed panel was already made. So until next time, bye.